To add a grid gallery, click Add Block, then Grid Gallery. You can autofill it with stock images to get a feel for how it might look if you don't quite have your images ready, or do a bulk upload. You can adjust the box shape, which goes from square to wider to taller, adjust the gap between the boxes, and that can go right down to 0 pixels, and you can change the number of columns. And then you can autofill with more stock images if you have more cells to fill. Or bulk upload or single upload pictures. So this example is an e-commerce looking example, and we've uploaded 3 pictures using the Add Pictures tab. And you'll see each picture has a different color mouse over effect. So to get this look, we've got 3 columns. We've adjusted the box shape from the default square to a taller shape using the box shape slider. And we've reduced the default gap down to 0 pixels. So if you want to edit that specific box, just click that edit pencil, and then you can add some title text. So you'll see this one here says bags, and I can edit that and it updates the text on that one. Or you can open the effects tab and you'll see that there's a color overlay applied to this. And you can adjust the intensity of that, and I've actually got this color overlay to only fade in on mouse over. So if we go back out to the grid gallery settings and the picture mouse over effect, here you'll see that it's set to fade in overlay on mouse over. You can also change it to fade out overlay on mouse over, so when you mouse over, that color disappears or fades in. There's also other picture mouse over effects, like light in, dark in, zoom in and zoom out. You can also change the text styling and the text mouse over effect as well. So you can have the text fade in on mouse over, or fade in and move slightly, so there's just a little animation on the text. You can also change the text positioning. So here I've put it in the middle, now I put the text to always be visible and put it at the bottom, or in the bottom left corner, or in the top. So if I edit that box again, I can add a link. And if I had a shop enabled on this site, I'd have some category options here as well. So looking at another example of the grid gallery, this is a building or architectural looking example. We've uploaded our pictures using the Add Pictures tab. We've reduced it down to 1 column. So the default is 3 columns to start with, and a couple of pixels of gap, and so we've and the default shape is square as well. So we've changed that box shape to a wide shape, reduced the gap down, and reduced down to 1 column. And actually that's a little bit taller than how I wanted it, so I can make that a bit more slimline with the box shape slider. And now I want to just reposition that image, so I clicked edit pencil on that image and dragged it up just like I can with any picture block. So if I edit that box again and just do a little bit more fine tuning, yeah, that looks just right. So if I edit that box, I can again edit the title text for that box, and that is set to fade in on mouse over with the text styling. Again, there's a picture color overlay, a blue tint that appears on mouse over, and you can change the intensity of that. So I increase that to 75%, and you'll see that it's a more intense overlay that appears on mouse over. You can also disable mouse over effects for a box. So if you don't want this one to actually be a link or have any mouse over effects, but the other ones around it too, you can do that at a box specific level. You can also set a box-specific text color, so it just gives you lots of flexibility in terms of the design. So again, I can change the positioning of that text styling, change the size, make it a lot larger. And you can also change the text size on mobile as well on the mobile accordion, and change how many columns it wraps to on mobile. So this one is another example with some really bold colors overlaying the pictures at 100%. So I've added 3 pictures here. It's still at the default square shape from when they were uploaded. So I haven't had to change the box shape. I've reduced the gap down to 0 pixels. And the picture effect is set to fade out on mouse over. And so you'll see there's a pink overlay at 100%. So if I reduce that down, you can see the picture always. Or if I bring it back in, it covers the picture until you mouse over. You can disable mouse over effects for that box again, if you don't want those mouse over effects on that specific box. And again, add a specific box-specific text color. So you see that changes to yellow there. And I can edit the text in that box. So I can change the mouse over effect, so I can make that color overlay only fade in on mouse over or fade out. Have the zoom in effects. So the lighten won't apply in this situation because the color overlay is actually at 100% already. And we could adjust the box shape and increase the gap for a look which looks like 3 multicolored buttons. And adjust the positioning of the text as well. So a huge range of design possibilities with this platform of the grid gallery. In this example, there's some larger text there, and I position it in the bottom left corner. So again, another architectural looking example. This is a 3-column. We've uploaded 3 pictures. The default 3 columns. It's actually got a larger gap on this one. There's a lot of fine-tune adjustment of that gap, which is great for a wide range of design options. And we've increased that box shape to a really tall box shape. And edit that specific box. You can adjust the positioning so you can focus on the part of the image that you want to. You can also zoom in and drag that around. So you could use this grid gallery for staff photos or products, categories, key services, recent projects, just a huge range of options that you could employ this design feature with. And this is actually showing how you can make the pictures open in a pop-up as well. So they'll enlarge in a classic gallery slideshow once you click on the picture. You can also add some text. You see there actually that's a dark colored text. And you can make that picture enlarge in a pop-up. And you can actually have some additional text in the pop-up in the form of a caption title and caption text that doesn't appear by default until you open that pop-up. And I've actually seen there that the color is supposed to be white, so I've obviously got a box-specific color override there. And yep, so we've got a dark text color there, so if I disable that, it'll go back to the white one of the overall grid gallery. You'll see the pop-up enlarge is applied there. So if we click save and go into preview mode, we can click on that and enlarge it in a pop-up. You'll see that caption text below the pop-up. And you've got some arrows to go between those images within that gallery. So you can use this for traditional thumbnail style pop-up galleries as well. So this classic thumbnail style gallery look, we can apply pop on enlarge to all images by clicking the tick box in the add pictures area and then click add to current pictures, and you'll see that they're all now pop up enlarge rather than linking to another page. And you can click through those once they're in the pop-up. So looking at a e-commerce product example now, you'll see here that that top left box is actually not one of the products. So we've got a box-specific text color for that one, a full gray color overlay, and mouse over effects are disabled. So it's effectively operating just as a gray box, not as a link to a specific product like the other 7 pictures there. There is still a picture in the background there, but it's actually being completely overridden by the grey overlay. We've got quite a heavy gap on this one, but again, that can be adjusted right back down to 0. And we've got a zoom in effect on that, but we can change that to a zoom out. Or lighten, or darken. Or fade in the color overlay if there was one. If we increase the intensity of that color overlay, you'll see there's now a green overlay that appears on mouse over, or pink. And make it more subtle with the opacity selector. And if we increase that gap back up to 10 pixels. Okay, now looking at the mobile feature area. So it enables you to really tweak the look of your site on mobile. So in this example, we've got the picture here of a trout, and not all of the picture is in view. So we've reduced the height of the feature area so you can actually fit more of the fish in view. We still want a high impact tool feature area on mobile, so we've struck a middle ground there. And we can actually drag that picture left and right into view. And if we adjust it a little bit more, we can get that hand in view on the left-hand side there. Now we've got the text that's overlaying the focal point of the image, so we want to get that out of the way. So if we click Feature Area Design Settings, and you'll see now there's a desktop mobile toggle in the feature area design settings, and we can adjust the text size and also the text position. So if we put that in the bottom left, that's instantly looking a whole lot better, and we can reduce that size down. I'd like to get it down to 2 lines. Yep, that's great, but I'd like that catchword to go on the bottom line. And so I just increase the size, and now it's wrapping really tightly. So another example is this architectural example where there's actually no text over the feature area, just a full height feature area slideshow. And we still want to keep that full height on mobile for a really high impact look, but we want to reposition the focal point of the image so you can focus on not the plants in the garden, but the most important part of the architectural image. And so we can just go through and tweak each image to really get the best part of the image. Again, focusing on the door rather than the side of the house or the garage door. Or in this example, rather than focusing on the couch, we can look into that kitchen area.